So I'm going to just follow me, just go to command prompt. I'll cmd, find command prompt. So I'm going to move that to here. So screen the size, the font size is pretty big. Get rid of that. Okay, and there's a Mongo, right? Okay, so here we are. And now let me let's say shell DBs. So we have what DBs we have? Okay, we have MyDB. So let's use MyDB. Okay, and then shell collections. So we have two collections. I don't know. I have two collections. Maybe you have only one. So let me try and see what data are available for students collection. So db.students.find, and then we have quite a few students listed in there. Anything special we can use? Probably not. So we learned how to do how to write documents. So basically, you're going to do db dot, for example, collections of students, and then dot find, and then inside here you're going to put like a query documents, query filter documents. Okay, so the query filter documents, I told you how to specify how to do that. So then in the simplest case, you can just say something equal to something. So for example, if I want to check say b date is equal to something, or maybe missing, and then we'll just say it's null, and that way we can just do just say b date equal to something, or is null, or we say as name starts with certain letter. So start with, say, for example, as name. Let me see whether they say as name start with J. Okay, and then that will be able to find all students who have a name starts with J, right? And we can also do like operations. So for example, if I want to do like admission date, so b date again, b date, okay? So I want the b date is bigger than certain date. So in that case, you are going to have operator documents. So create operator documents first, okay? So let's just say I want to do less than, okay? And less than what? Let's say b date is less than, let's say ISO date, okay? And then less than, put a parentheses first, okay? And then double quotes, and then let's just say 2020 and December 02, less than that, okay? And we can also add more operators. So just in that case, we can just use a comma to separate different key value pairs. So this time, let's just say I want to do greater than, then do something else. Let's just say ISO date, okay, and then parentheses, and then double quotes, and then in here, going to put another date, say 2018, and then December, and then 41st, something like that, okay? So in that case, we are finding all students who have birth date less than that and greater than that, okay? And that is how we do operator documents, okay? Now let's do say, suppose I'm not going to say, I don't want to say all the documents or all the fields. I just want to say certain fields. And I told you that you can use like a for each and then print JSON, right? And you have another way to do that. So basically what you can do is use db.students. Again, I just use same collections and data find. And inside here, you can have two separate documents. One is query documents, query filter documents, and the second part is the document which specify which fields can be shown, can be listed. Okay, so let me just give you a simple example here. Let's just say S name. Okay, so let's say S name starts with J. Okay, so that is so basically we will find all students who have first name who have a name starts with letter J. All right, and then I do not want to show. So I think I already have that before. Let's see, where is that? Where's the result? I did that. Did I run that? I probably did not run that. Okay, so if I did not run that, that's fine. So in this case, I'm still going to find those documents. Okay, however, this time I am going to show only the fields I want to show. Okay, so for example, I want to show ID. So if you want ID to be shown, then type of one here. Okay, and then if you do not want to show ID, just put 0. Okay, so let's say I will not show ID. By default, it will show ID all the way. Okay, and then for other fields, you just want to list it. So for example, S name is 1. Okay, so that means I want to show S name. I want to show B date. Okay, that's 1. So basically this is equivalent to some kind of SQL statements like select S name, B date from students, where S name starts with letter J, like single quote and then percentage sign, J percentage sign, something like that, right? So this basically telling you that which fields you want to be shown. So 1 means that field will be shown, and 0 just only that's only apply to ID. So if you do not want to show the field, of course you don't list it here. Okay, so instead you don't. So in other words, you don't put like a B date 0. That you don't do that. Just say if you want to show the field, just put the 1 here. Okay, so let me say the result here. So that's how you do projection here. Okay. All right. So you say that in this case, I only get student name and the birth date. So so get only 2 fields. So that's how you do projections. Does it make sense? So inside inside the student collection, inside the find function, you have two parameters. Okay, 2 parameters. The first parameter specifies query documents, query field documents, and the second part specifies document for the fields to be listed. Okay, and next let's try to do 1 or 2 questions involving embedded documents, and then we do group by. Now we think, what time is it? We don't have a lot of time actually. So trying to finish everything in one. Let's just do that quickly. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 with embedded documents. So let me show you what data I want here. So embedded documents, let me see. So actually it's inside my weekly node, say embedded documents, and then there's the first collection here. So you see this is the embedded document, right? So basically this insert many, and each item has like a title and a quantity, size, and the size is actually embedded document, right? Okay, and you can get those from week 15 outline, or you can just get it from the script loader, same place. Okay, so here is embedded document. So let's try to use embedded document, just do 1 query. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. Okay, and then move this aside. And I'm going to here to paste. Okay, enter. So now I should show, if I show collections, and I should have 1 more collection called inventory, right? So let me show the inventory here as db.inventory. .find. Okay. All right. So now let's say we know how to do how to for example reference to field values like item or quantity, right? So now let's say how can we do size? Okay, size, of course we have we have embedded document size. So size, height size, or maybe horizontal width. There's width here, and also measurement unit. Okay, let's just try to say I want to find all documents which has a measurement unit of a measurement as inch. Okay, so how do we do that? So we just do ttd.inventory. Okay, and $find. Okay, so let's finish it. Let's finish the query documents here. Okay, so what we need to do is how do we reference to this inside the field inside in embedded documents. So for example, how do we reference to this? Okay, so to reference to that, you are going to use size. Okay, size dot UOM, unit of a measurement. You see that nested level. So this is the first level, right? And then say dot, and then this UM. Okay, so that's how we reference to this, the field inside embedded documents. But then we have to make sure that this has to be inside double quotes, the whole thing. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right result. Okay, so now let's say in this case, we'll say this would be, I want to make unit measurement is inch. Okay, so we'll put N here. Okay, so this is a query document, and then so basically you're finding all documents which has unit measurement is in inch. Okay. There we go. So we found a few here. And now let's try to do another one. Let's say, suppose this time I want to height of the document, height of the item is bigger than something. Okay, so let's do dd.inventory .find again. Okay, and then let's formulate a query document. So first, I want to do a height, so that would be size.h, right? And greater than, so it's not equal, so I have to use another operator document. Okay, so operator will be, what is the operator? Let's say I want a greater than, right? Greater than, and then let's say I want a greater than something. Greater than what? Greater than 10, okay? So in this case, we're trying to find the height, size, height dimension of size is greater than 10, okay? All right, so we found that. And now let's switch to trying to run this very quickly. So now let's try to do group functions, okay? So there are a few more examples in that embedded documents, but I will just do group functions next. So we learned how to do group functions in SQL. That is what, just say select some kind of statistic functions like a sum or average, whatever statistic functions, right? Or maybe confidence interval. And then from, which table, and then say where, and then say group by, and then heaven, right? So what would be equivalent to that? For that example, I'm going to ask you to copy a second scripts. This is sales. I think I already have that, but you don't have that, right? So let me just do this first. Let me drop the collection first. Show collections again. So I'm going to drop sales. dd.sales .drop. Okay. So that dropped. So now I'm going to just copy that script again to recreate it. Okay. So I'm going to just copy that. So this basically you see that is a sales. Okay. Is a have item, has a price. That's like the price is numerical value, numerical. So you see that numerical decimal. So you can just directly put 10 or 25 in here. But this is another way to specify decimal values. And the quantity is also decimal value, numerical integer, and then date. Okay. And then there we go. So that just did that. Okay. So copy that, and then let me move this away, and then come to here. Paste. Semicolon, finish. Okay, so that so we have. Let me show the table again as of db.sales.find. So we get a list of like items, price, just more like a what item details. Okay, so auto details. So each auto has like an item, has like a price, has a quantity, right, and also have some kind of data in there. So now let's say how can we do group functions in here? So basically, you are going to use it's not going to be fine. You're going to use something called an aggregate function. Okay, so let me type that whole thing first. So it's going to be db dot, so let's say sales, and then you type aggregate. Aggregate. Is that correct? Okay. And then you're going to put some kind of documents inside. So what documents are allowed here will be, there are basically two documents here. One document is for you to do grouping and the statistics, okay? And that is in the syntax like this. Let me show you this instead of writing. Okay, let me just type look at here. The syntax is this. Okay, so this first document is just for grouping. Okay, let me explain that to you. First, if you do not want to group by anything, you just leave that as null. This value, as you mean the expression is null. Okay, so in general, so basically, what does it mean here is you are going to create some kind of like a document by using this aggregation, and that document is going to have a couple fields. The first field, of course, is going to be ID field, and that is the field. That's not a field in the original documents, and this is a new field. Okay, the field you're going to create. Okay, so you create a new field, and then you're going to create those, actual field for some kind of calculation. So, for example, here, accumulator, that could be just like some kind of expression yourself, or could be just sum, average, or standard deviation. So those kind of operators in here, and then here you specify what columns or what fields you want to use, or some kind of expressions of those columns of those operations. I'm using columns, but just understand that we're talking about fields here. Okay, so let's try to use this as the example. So if we do not do group by, nothing to be grouped, and then just leave this as a missing no. Okay, and then we can specify, for example. So in our example here, we can just do what could it do? Let's just try to find the total number of documents. That should be easy, right? Good. So what do we do in that case? Let's try to formulate. Trying to formulate the group by documents. Okay. So in the group by documents, we are going to use operator called group. Okay. And then inside here, let's just formulate the group by. So you're going to have group by documents here. So the documents will be, say, let's say I want to just count the total number of documents, so I really don't need to group by anything. So in that case, I would just say the ID will be null. Okay, so that is what? That is just you can just imagine there's one field. One field is basically the first field. That group label, the group label is missing, so you do not have a group label, in other words. Okay, and then the second column, I just want to show the total count, right? So just name that as count. So that's name you made. Okay, it's not a function. Okay, and then how do we do the count? So in this case, I am going to just do this. Just use a sum function here, but then with sum over 1. Okay, so that means each document will, for each document, the value to be added is just 1. So we just add 1, 1, 1. So that will be total count, right? So let's just say, just make sure that we have all the parentheses matched here. So let's say this one is matched here, and this one is matched here. And I think we're still missing something, right? Anyway, and this parentheses, so they were missing here. So this is another curly brackets here. So hopefully that's correct. Okay. So sometimes if I forget to close it, and then it will be a lot more work, a lot more job to come back to fix that. Okay. So let's try that. Okay. So there we go. case, you say that you don't group by anything, and then the count will be just total numbers, right? So now let's say if I want to count by item titles, we have identical titles. Yeah, may probably have. Okay, so let's just say I'm trying to buy group by item. So that would be db, okay, dot sales, dot aggregate. Okay, currency is first, and now let's do the group by documents. So we're going to do group operator. Okay, and now let's say how can we do the group? Okay, so first of all, we want to have a label for the group. So this time I want to use ID as a group, right? So I'm going to do just do the ID, use the item as ID. Okay, so I'm going to do the ID. That's field. I'm going to do group by, and then how do we reference to the item? So in this case, we are going to use this column for expressions. So the column, the field use field as expressions, and then we have to use $sign and the name of the column. So that's how we reference to the put like a name of the field inside the expression. Okay, so in other words, in this case, we are doing group by. We are grouping all the documents by this item name. Okay, and the next, let's say we can do the count again. Okay, let's say count. Okay. And then currency, and then let's do the count. How do we count? Okay, so let's do the sum, and then 1. Okay, so each document is going to be counted once. So here we did a group by. So this ID will also specify which items, which expressions you want to use, which expressions you're going to use as group by, and then so after that, you're going to list all the calculations. So here I just count, right? So I can do one more. Let's just do one more or more than that. Okay, let's just say this time instead of just count, also I want to do average quantity. Do we have a quantity? We do have a quantity, do we? Yeah, we have a quantity here. Just say, let's say I want this time I want just do average quantity. So average QTY, okay? Average quant Q. Okay, so that's just the name. And then how do we do that? I'm going to specify that. Okay, so first of all, I am going to specify the operation, which is AVG. All right, AVG. And then based on which field, so I'm going to do quantity field. So here, double quotes, and then inside, I will reference to that as quantity. Put $sign in front of it. Okay. Does it make sense? Okay. So now let's see. We get some kind of result here. So here item. Oh, I have some kind of error here. It's not a what is not a function? I agree. I misspelled aggregate. Okay, is that correct enough? And let's try it again. There we go. So this time we group by the ID. The group label is going to be the item name. So we have four of the items, and then we have count and also have average quantities for each item. Right? Okay. So that's how we do group functions. Okay. So there are a few more examples after this. I will ask you to. So if you have a homework or a review questions, just follow that. So I'm going to stop here because I already overused time. So let me give you more time for you to answer questions about exam. Okay. So I am going to quit here. Okay. Stop. All right, and now let me stop recording also.